Do you offer a safe environment for your child to be who they truly are, or do they need to wear masks to fit in? This question, crucial for any child's emotional health, brings us back to one of the deepest and most transformative understandings in child psychoanalysis, bequeathed by the brilliant pediatrician and psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott. There is no such thing as a baby alone. There is a mother and a baby. Although this phrase seems simple, it carries a monumental implication. A child's development is intrinsically linked to the presence, responsiveness, and holding capacity of the primary caregiver. Winnicott teaches us that human beings are not born ready or isolated. They emerge and consolidate from an environment that holds them, an invisible shield that allows their existence and flourishing. This no such thing as a baby alone is the cornerstone of the concept of holding environment. It's not just about a physically safe space, but a psychological and emotional space created primarily by the maternal figure or primary caregiver who is reliably and predictably responsive to the baby's needs. It's an environment where the child feels safe to exist, to express their demands, to explore the world, and fundamentally, to be. The mother, or caregiver, functions as a buffer for the frustrations of the external world, adapting to the baby's needs and cushioning the impacts of reality. If the baby cries from hunger, the mother offers food. If crying from cold, warmth. If crying from distress, comfort. This consistency and predictability build the foundation of trust. The child learns that the world is a place where their needs can be met, and that there is a reliable other who protects them. In contrast, the absence of an adequate holding environment, characterized by inconsistency, lack of responsiveness, neglect, or emotional absence, prevents this fundamental construction. The baby, and later the child, is left alone with their anxieties and needs, forced to adapt to an environment that doesn't hold them, and therefore to develop defense mechanisms that can be detrimental to their true self. Winnicott also introduced the revolutionary idea of the good enough mother. Far from demanding perfection, this liberating concept suggests that the mother doesn't need to be perfect, infallible, or omnipresent. She needs to be good enough, that is, capable of tuning into the baby's needs. What he called primary maternal preoccupation, a state of heightened maternal sensitivity in the baby's first months of life. To fail occasionally, which allows the baby to learn to cope with minor frustrations and to adapt as the baby grows. This mother is one who, initially, dedicates herself intensely to the illusion that she and the baby are one, and that the world exists to satisfy the baby's desires. Gradually, she fails optimally, allowing the baby to realize that she is separate, that the world has its own rules, but always with the security that she will be there to love and hold him. Attunement is key. The ability to feel what the baby needs, even before they can express it, and to respond to it appropriately. The impact of this holding environment and the good enough mother on child development and even on adult life is immense and multifaceted. Firstly, it establishes a deep sense of security and trust in the world. A child who felt held by a responsive environment develops the ability to trust people and life, the foundation for exploring the world with curiosity and courage. Secondly, and perhaps most crucial for Winnicott, this environment allows for the development of the true self as opposed to the false self. The true self is the spontaneous, authentic, and creative essence of the individual, which emerges when the child feels free to express their most genuine impulses and feelings, even if they are imperfect. The holding environment accepts them as they are, allowing them to feel real. The false self, on the other hand, is a facade, a persona that the child develops to adapt to an unresponsive or overly demanding environment. To survive in a world that doesn't hold them, the child learns to suppress their true feelings, to conform to external demands, and to present a version of themselves that is acceptable or avoids punishment. This leads to a life of anxiety, internal emptiness, and difficulty forming authentic relationships in adulthood, as the individual is always acting, never truly being themselves. Furthermore, a secure and consistent holding environment allows the child to develop the capacity to be alone, paradoxically, one of the greatest indicators of mental health. This happens because the loving and reliable presence of the caregiver has been internalized. The child is not alone, they carry within themselves the security and support received. Finally, this solid foundation promotes resilience and the ability to cope with the frustrations and challenges of adult life. The child learns that difficulties can be overcome and that they have internal and external resources to face them. In the context of modern families, creating a holding environment faces significant challenges. Parental stress, whether due to financial, professional, or social pressures, often prevents parents from being fully present and responsive. The lack of support networks, such as the absence of the family or community tribe that existed in the past, overwhelms primary caregivers. Digital distraction and the fast pace of life can make it difficult to tune into children's emotional needs. Moreover, many parents, having grown up in environments where their own true self was stifled, carry their own false selves and struggle to connect with their own authenticity, which makes it difficult to offer a space for their children's authenticity to flourish. The pressure to be perfect, and not just good enough, is also a trap, leading parents to prioritize performance over genuine connection. How to create and maintain a holding environment in your family. It's a daily and conscious commitment, presence and availability, not just physical, but emotional. Being present when your child needs you, looking into their eyes, truly listening. Attunement and adequate response. Observe your child's signals, both those expressed in words and nonverbal ones. Respond to their needs consistently, but without overprotecting. Consistency and predictability. Establish routines, clear boundaries, and be predictable in your reactions. This creates security and helps the child organize themselves internally. Acceptance of imperfection. Understand that you don't need to be perfect. Good enough is what builds resilience. Allow yourself to make mistakes and apologize, and allow your child to make mistakes too, creating a space for learning. Parental stress management. Seeking support for yourself. Friends, family, therapy, self-care is fundamental to having the energy and emotional resources to offer your child. Fostering the true self. Encourage free play, spontaneity, honest expression of feelings, even difficult ones, creativity, and autonomy. Let your child be who they are, not who you idealize them to be. Ultimately, Winnicott's phrase is a powerful reminder that the family, and especially the primary caregiver, is the essential ground for the development of a child's authentic self. It is in the holding environment, where the child feels safe to be themselves, that their true self can emerge, flourish, and build a solid foundation for a full and genuine life. It's not about being perfect parents, but about being a good enough, present, and responsive environment that allows the child to find their own voice and their own truth. Did you like what you heard? Leave your like, share with those who need this reflection, and subscribe so you don't miss the next content that will transform your view of family and education.